Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And I watched The Batman. So it is out on streaming services, and we have one streaming service over here which it's not on HBO Max, but there's one Indian one which I think has a tie-up with HBO Max. That's how I was able to get my hands on it. I've been looking forward to watching this movie because, let's face it, it's a Batman movie, and I saw the trailers, the first couple of trailers, and was really intrigued. Okay, but I will say this: my biggest fear going into this movie was the main actor, because I have never watched a single film of Robert Pattinson until now. I had watched the first 20 minutes of the Twilight movie when it first came out. I watched it. I think I downloaded a version, and I tried watching it. And after 20 minutes, I gave up. I couldn't watch it. I can't stand the Twilight movies. I've always associated him with that particular role, but to be fair, I think that's not. I mean, to be fair, I don't think that's actually fair. So, but that was my biggest fear. I think I've mentioned this a couple of times before. I wasn't the biggest Ben Affleck fan as well. In fact, I wasn't a fan of Ben Affleck for a long time until I actually saw him as the Batman, and I really liked his version of the Batman. Uh, and controversial perhaps, but that's my favorite, um, you know, favorite version of Batman as such. I thought he played the world-weary veteran Batman to a T. I can't complain. I actually do like to see him as Batman, and I wish we had got like a movie with at least a couple of films more with him, focusing on just the Batman and having some detective style plot to go along with it. And that's exactly what we got here. But this is a younger Batman, so Robert Pattinson's Batman is supposed to Bruce Wayne is supposed to have been the Batman only for a couple of years. He's still new in the role. Gotham is still getting used to the fact that they've got this vigilante going around and beating up bad guys and helping the cops. Although the cops are kind of weary of him as well, with the exception of Gordon, and he's not the commissioner yet. So just came out in 2022. The Batman stars Robert Pattinson, Bruce Wayne Batman, along with Zoe Kravitz. Did a fantastic job, by the way. Paul Dano did an amazing job, by the way. Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon, John Turturro, Peter Sarsgaard, Andy Serkis. I wish there was a little more of Andy Serkis. I think his role is way too small for a movie that's almost 3 hours long. And Colin Farrell, who for the life of me, I wouldn't have thought that is Colin Farrell. So I avoided a lot of the, a lot of stories about it. I didn't know that was going to be him until very recently. And watching the movie with, sheesh man, I mean, this was actually a tremendous job. Another actor that I cannot actually stand, but fair is fair. I know it's makeup and stuff, but even the way that he speaks, his mannerism, you cannot make out that it's Colin Farrell. That's off. Yeah, can't stand the guy, but still, really amazing job. So basically, uncovering corruption and trying to find the Riddler, basically Paul Dano. I read that they are actually going, which I'm not going to go down the storyline, but I read that they were actually going down a path of a neo-noir film, and that the movie Seven is kind of like the inspiration. That's exactly what I got. I had that feeling of the movie Seven and those kind of detective cop movies. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Couldn't bring the mug, the glass to my face as quickly as possible. But so that kind of like dirty, grimy little Gotham, which is like full of corruption and stuff. Amazingly done. Robert Pattinson looks great as the Batman. I mean, uh, outside of when he's playing Bruce Wayne, he kind of looks like a goth emo kind of guy. But as the Batman, I think really impressive. Does a fantastic job. Paul Dano, I don't think I've seen him in anything else before. Doing a quick check, I did check. There was something that I've actually watched of his. Next to the King, he was Sunshine. I haven't seen all these movies. All things are the extra man. Okay, so he was in Cowboys and Aliens. I don't remember his role. I have only watched Cowboys and Aliens one long back, so I'll try and watch it again. Anything else? He was in Rooper, 12 Years a Slave. All these are movies that I watched, but I don't remember him in it. Yeah, he actually played like a demented version of the Riddler, to be honest, and I was like really. And at the same time, you kind of understand why he went down the path, and brilliant acting, by the way. What else? Zoe Kravitz, she was pretty awesome. I don't think I've seen her in anything either. So all around, it's a lot of pleasant surprises for me. I wasn't really sure, how it was going to be, but the trailers were really making it kind of look like something that would be amazing. Song choice, basing him on the Kurt Cobain song, excuse me, Kurt Cobain Nirvana song, Something in the Way. Excellent choice. I heard that the writer was actually, or I think I read it somewhere, the writer was actually listening to the song while he was trying to get to the plot line or something like that, and amazing choice. Not a biggest Nirvana fan, but that particular song for that particular movie, yes, pretty good. One of my favorite scenes was when, it's very atmospheric, the movie. Was when the penguin is actually being chased by the Batman, and then the car gets his car gets flipped, topsy-turvy is upside down, and then you see Batman coming in. That was amazing. I mean, it's in one of the clips, the teaser trailers on that. I remember watching it, but watching it once again, fantastic. You can't not get a little chill down your spine, or the hairs were standing on my hand a little bit. So that was goosebumps. I got goosebumps. That's what I'm looking for. So that's pretty good. Overall, this feeling of being betrayed by your dad, the secrecy about the Waynes, Thomas Wayne basically. That was, I think, pretty good storyline. So I heard that they're going to make two more. That's kind of like in the contracts. There's an agreement for two more films of this. I really would like to see what's going to happen. Overall, amazing job. That's all I want to say. I don't want to. It's still, because a lot of people wouldn't have watched it, so I'm gonna avoid the spoilers as much as I can. But amazing. I really liked it, and just the fact that Gotham looks like this kind of like hopeless city at this particular point, especially after what happens towards the end. Not gonna mention what it is, but yeah. And then Bruce Wayne deciding that he's gonna stay back and help as much as he can. So that's basically some of my thoughts about this particular film. I want to give it. Okay, I will mention one thing. It kind of like dragged a little bit at the beginning. The movie's a little too long, but it kind of dragged for about the first like half an hour, around that point, and then kind of like picks up around the 45th. Maybe a little after 30 minutes, so like around the 45 minutes, I really got into it. Initially, I wasn't really expecting anything, and then suddenly it kind of picked up the pace. By the end, I was like really hooked, so I'll give it that as well. So I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Really fantastic film. Thank you.